Hi Capricorn, and welcome to your past life tarot reading. This is a timeless tarot reading, so whenever you view this is when this information is most relevant to your life. I'm going to try to really define the past life and the individual that you were as well as I can. As always, all the decks that I'm using and the meaning of their placement in this reading are listed in the description box below. So, Capricorn, oh, well, that's one that wants to come out. Let's pull some past life tarot cards to get a sense of, what was going on in this past life that's going to come through in this reading for you guys. Okay, so our jumper card is Authority and Figures. And before I try to define any card too much, I'm going to pull several tarot cards from different decks to really get the full scope. Communal living and health. So I'm going to say, Capricorn, the past life that's coming through for you is you were living in some sort of like hierarchy system within some social structure, like a tribe sort of type of living environment. And then we have health, and this could mean a couple of different things. This could mean that you were in some sort of health field, offering services in that lines like doctor, nurse, holistic healer, shaman, something like that. Or this could indicate that there was issue with your health in your past life. But with authority figure here, I don't know if that's that you were a dictator or somebody was dictating over you. And also with communal living and authority figures, this could be like you were put in a prison or something along those lines. So let's pull more cards to define this energy. But let's first pull a court card to see what your zodiac sign was in this past life. Master of Crystals. So to me, this is indicating that you were most likely a Capricorn in your past life, interesting enough. This coming out as the Master is saying that in your past life, you were working with the masculine aspect of the Capricorn energy. Okay, this could also represent that you were a Capricorn male, but for me, this is the Capricorn card, okay, and you're a Capricorn now. So perhaps your South Node in your astrology chart, well, no, it could not possibly be Capricorn because of how astrology works. I don't know. This is a conundrum, Capricorn. You're revisiting this energy kind of consecutively here. Or, again, this doesn't have to be the last life you had. This is just a past life coming through, and you were a Capricorn, potentially a male Capricorn. Wow. So, when I thought of these readings, to do these readings, I didn't even think about that, about your own sign coming up. So, yeah, you definitely, Capricorn, this lifetime, you are the master of the Capricorn energy. And I believe in the Map of Destiny reading I did, you guys came out as the Master of Crystals in that reading as well. Wow. So I'm going to pull a card here to see what your personality was as this earth sign Capricorn in this past life. Perhaps you were the authority figure. The Desert Prince, survival, false promises. So your personality, your energy was that of somebody who you could get through many challenges and obstacles in life. And with communal living and then the Desert Prince, to me this is like you were living in a very warm climate, and you see the pyramids here. So for some of you this could even be Egypt, and it could be at any time period. When I say Egypt, people always go right back, you know, to the pharaohs and the pyramids. Doesn't mean you existed in that time frame, but you know, with this here, you could have had this particular life took place in Egypt for some of you, okay? But this is a very warm climate, and with this energy, you were somebody that worked hard, somebody that could really be counted on. You were a part of some like closed society, closed community, a tribe, something along those lines. And you know, with the health here, I really feel like you were a healer of some kind, and you had authority in that matter, especially coming out as the master of crystals. So doctor, shaman, nurse, Reiki, the medicine doctor, the medicine man, the medicine woman, midwife, you know, something along those lines, holistic healer, shaman. Yeah, definitely. So let's take a look at the most predominant traits of you for the good or the bad, okay? But, you know, with this Desert Prince, you might have been a little bit flaky in some of, like in your personality in some way. You might have had, you know, because we have false promises there, or perhaps maybe you tried to do more than you were capable of. But with survival here, yeah, with the health, I really think you guys were in the medical field somehow, some way. So we have divine timing and intention. Yeah, divine timing, that's like saying, like, you saved lives, okay? This Capricorn I'm reading for, you were a healer. You saved lives. Like, this could even be like a paramedic energy, like an EMT. With this communal living, like more recent times, not, you know, super far back, but like, I don't know, 1950, 1960-ish. And if it's like more recent like that, this communal living could indicate that you lived with like many other roommates, or perhaps you were from one country but you went to a country that like that was in poverty, like a third world country, and the way that you lived with other doctors, nurses, you know, whatever your healing ability is here, you guys lived in, you know, some sort of community together in a different country, trying to heal and save people, and you were an authority in that, okay? But yeah, this coming out as a trait about you, it's like you show up right on time to save a life, or you are the one that figures out what a person needs to save their life. You just always do it like in the nick of time, okay? So some of you, with this hand here, and you see this pen, some of you could actually be a surgeon of some kind, or I should say you were a surgeon of some kind, okay? Wow. And then with intention here, this says, which you set your mind to, you could follow through. So when I talk about flaky behavior here, what I feel that means is you had the ability to follow through. You had, you know, stamina, endurance, longevity, and whatever it is that you set your mind to. And if your whole heart and whole attention wasn't set in something, you would kind of like flake out on that, okay? You wouldn't be able to have that follow through. But when it spoke to your heart and it became your primary focus and intention, no matter what it was, you had follow through and magic big time, okay? Like, wow. So Capricorn, the Capricorn I'm reading for, you were a Capricorn in this past life, and you were a healer of some kind in the medical field, offering services that literally saved lives. So, wow. And you were very knowledgeable in that, in a position of power. People looked to you for direction, okay? So let's pull some more cards to get more information on this energy. I like that, like you being a doctor or nurse or shaman, Reiki, whatever, is coming through so strong. Surgeon too, absolutely. And under like dire conditions, some of you. Also, maybe some of you were in the military, okay, and that's why this authority figures is coming out, and you were stationed, you know, in other countries to be the EMT, the medic for soldiers, okay? That is definitely a message that could come through with this lineup of energy. And you were just badass at it, like at being a doctor, healer, nurse, shaman, whatever, medicine woman, man. You were the shit. Like, nobody could top you. Nobody. You knew exactly what you were doing. In fact, you could probably save lives in ways that others could not. Wow. So let's just pull some more cards here. Destiny. Wow. Alright, let's pull more before I even begin on that. Body and mind. Oh my God, yes. Abundance. And the Five of Wands. Okay, destiny with body and mind right there paired up. Yeah, you were a healer, but something that popped into my mind when body mind came out that I hadn't been considering looking at this energy is this healer, this doctor. Some of you could have been like a counselor or a therapist of some kind. And with this communal living, you could have been working with a lot of mentally ill patients that existed inside of some sort of communal living, like a hospital, things like that. All right, so maybe you particularly didn't live in that situation, but you worked in that situation. You were an authority figure in that situation, because with mind and body, or body and mind right here, you definitely could have been a mental health doctor of some kind, like therapist, counselor. This could also go, because we have the Five of Wands here, which you can see what's depicted in this card. It's kind of an abusive energy. So some of you, this card plays very nicely like you were a counselor, a healer to people who have experienced abuse of some kind in their life. It also pairs up really nicely if you were in the military and you were the EMT, the medic for fallen soldiers, because, you know, there's an element of battle with that. So, yeah, you being a healer, doctor, counselor, whatever, some kind, is so strong. Like, it just hits me. And with destiny, like, you have done this many lifetimes, okay? That is why you were the shit. You were the master. You're the authority figure in whatever genre of healing you were performing in this life, okay? It was your destiny, this life. It is all you wanted to be focused on. And with abundance here, I don't think that's so much talking about money and finances. Some of you could have been very well-to-do, but I feel this is talking more about the abundance of your knowledge, your skill, your mastery of whatever type of healer you were, okay? Some of you could have been healers of the soul, and with mind and body, you had a really good understanding of the way the mind and the thoughts that are constantly going through the mind affect the body, and how poor health of the body affects the thoughts of the mind, okay? You really understood that. You were very well versed in, I would say, like Western sort of understanding of medicine and healing, as well as like Eastern, more of the esoteric, spiritual, shamanistic type of healing, all right? You were a balance of many things when it comes to whatever you were practicing here, and you were just destined for that this lifetime because of your mastery. That is deep. That is deep, Capricorn. Let's pull some Gypsy cards to see how this energy plays out, or played out, I should say. We have size, widower, joyfulness, fortune. Well, shit, Capricorn. Okay, damn. Okay, for some of you, I have to say this, okay? Don't hate the messenger. But for some of you, it's like you were married to somebody, okay? And you didn't want to be with them. And depending on, you know, what era of life this was, you know, there was a point in time where when you were married for life, and that was that, okay? So for some of you, you were married. Maybe this was even an arranged marriage if you were born in India, because like I said, the warm climate here. If you were born in India or Asia, you know, your marriage could have been arranged. And what I get here is there's a sense of, like, I don't want to be in this. I want this to end. And then it does. You were a widower. Your mate or spouse passed on before you did, okay? But the reason why I giggled is because then we have joyfulness. So we have, you know, sadness. I don't want to be in this. When does this end? Oh, it finally ended. I'm happy now. Let's celebrate. And we have fortune. So maybe you were married to somebody who was very wealthy and you inherited a lot upon their passing, or there was nice big fat life insurance policy. But it just looks like you were with somebody, you were married to somebody that you really just didn't want to be with, okay? And when that ended, you were happy. Perhaps this was a karmic relationship that you had to deal with. And because we do have this Five of Wands, for some of you, this was an abusive situation. And depending on what era of time you were born and living in, you know, there was a time where if you were a female and your husband beat the crap out of you and cheated on you and whatever, it didn't matter. You were married for life. You suffered through that, okay? And with destiny here, there is that an element of that energy where, you know, you were tied up to a relationship, your marriage actually, and you didn't want to be in that, but it was like your destiny. Like you felt this is how it has to be, like this is the way it goes, this is the way life works, there's no other choice, regardless of what was going on. And you know, coming out as the desert prince there, it makes sense. You had that stamina and endurance to get through this. Even though you were unhappy, you didn't want to be with this partner for whatever reason, you stuck it out and they passed away, okay? And then that brought you happiness and also brought you fortune. And so we have abundance here. So yeah, for some of you, this is money that came in through the passing of your spouse. So that's actually quite interesting to me. This reading, you're like this badass like doctor healer, but you are married to somebody you just aren't in love with, or maybe somebody who's kind of abusive to you. And it doesn't just have to be physically, it could be emotionally, mentally, but you stuck with it till they passed. You outlived your partner in your past life. So let's pull a Wands card here, or yeah, Flames card, to see where, you know, where were you at in the cycle of your soul in this lifetime? Like, what was going on with that? Because you were a master. So all right, we have the Six of Flames. So you were in the middle of a soul cycle this particular life, and you were coming out on moving towards the second segment of this cycle, coming through as a six, okay? But again, here's these five flames, but we have this hand here that holds up one torch, and it's like the biggest flame of all. And the Six of Wands in general is about notoriety, being out in the public, sometimes even being famous. So this here to me is saying you were in the limelight, and I've already expressed that with your skill. Like you stood above all the rest, and you know, that's the earning of the previous half of the cycle that you have already lived. It brought you into this life where you are just the best at whatever type of healer you were, okay? So let's pull a crystals card to look at your finances. With this abundance and fortune, some of you may have struggled financially, and then this fortune happens, or maybe you had money all your life. I don't know. Let's see what the crystals cards have to say. Yeah, this here, some of you are creating a fortune throughout your life based on, you know, being a healer, doctors, therapists, Reiki specialists, all of it, shamans. Well, shamans, I don't know how much money they would make, but in that era when they were, you know, a big deal, it wasn't so much about monetary value. So I feel like whatever your practice was, this is more in modern times, like, you know, 1900s forward. And this here, to me, this being the Nine of Crystals, talking about your finances, some of you accumulate quite a bit of money over your lifetime. And for others of you, it's like a treasure chest of money. And, you know, I see that here in your fortune after somebody passes, your partner, your husband, wife, whatever. passes, you become quite wealthy. So you look to be comfortable, all right? Now let's look at your emotional connections and relationships. We have the Three of Cups. Yeah, so you had some really close connections that were friend, family. With this, I would say definitely 3 people that you were in love with in your life, 3 very significant romantic relationships. And, you know, these could come after this marriage, whatever this is here, or perhaps this transpired some while you were married, because it doesn't look like whoever you were married to you were happy with at all. But there was happiness elsewhere in your life, with friends, with family, and some of you may have taken an extramarital affair to get through this misery with your spouse, okay, before they passed on. So let's pull an Orbs card to see what your primary challenge was for this lifetime. All right. Yeah, 8 of Orbs goes great with this Destiny card. This is feeling very trapped and unable to get free, and it comes through this marriage, this partnership that you were in. You felt like there was no choice. You had no choice but to ride it out. Whatever was bringing you misery, you had no choice but to ride it out. And you truly 100% believed that that's like your destiny. And you did write it out. And you know, that's probably why this joyful energy comes, in this abundance and this money shows up after the passing. It's just, I believe whoever you were married to in this lifetime here, it was an intense karmic relationship with energy that carried over from a previous lifetime. And that's why there was so much misery and restriction and abuse for some of you in that relationship. But it's almost like you were doing time, okay? Coming through as the Desert Prince, you were doing time karmically for this energy of a life that, you know, happened before this life here. And in doing that, you balanced and cleared that karma, and you were free. And once your spouse transitioned, you spent the rest of your life feeling very happy, and you lived in great abundance, okay? I'm just going to put that out there. And not only that, you were a total badass at being a healer of some kind. So, you know, every experience has its ups and downs, and for you guys, yeah, you were in a crazy karmic relationship with whoever you were married to, and you felt so bound to it, like the only through death do us part. And you know, I don't know, maybe because we have this 5 of Wands in the widower, maybe some of you helped your spouse transition, if you know what I'm saying, if you're picking up what I'm laying down. I mean, this is general, so that could be you were a doctor. Some of you would know what to do to make it look like an accident, right? So perhaps some of you took matters into your own hands. I don't know. But anyways, you know, that's the energy that I'm picking up. So let's pull some major arcana to see what karma for the good or the bad comes with you from this life experience here. You know, and if some of you made it look like an accident, if that's the case, I would say that happened because you were tired of the abuse, whatever mental, physical, emotional, sexual, you know, depending on what era you were born into. Life was different, okay? And certain things were expected to be tolerated, especially in like a hierarchy situation. Kings and queens, like a king could bed whoever he wanted, but a queen, oh my God, she'd be beheaded for taking a lover, okay? So whether you were male or female, you were not happy with who you were married to. There was some sort of abuse that was quite intense on some level, okay? But let's see what karma for the good or the bad comes with you into this lifetime, you know, because this lifetime is the only thing that's truly relevant, right? So whether this happened 10 lifetimes ago or this was your last lifetime, there's karma and energy from this life I'm picking up on that comes with you into the now. Ascension, Reason, and the Star. Oh my God. So you have Destiny and the Star in the same reading. I'm loving that. Capricorn. What this tells me about you, the energy, the karma that comes with you is you were so, like, you obtained so much soul wisdom from this challenging partnership, okay? It really put you through a lot. It allowed your soul to expand and ascend to some degree in this lifetime, but this is what's coming forth with you. So this lifetime, there's a huge element of full ascension of your soul, full soul awakening, because we have Reason here, which would be the Hierophant in the standard tarot deck, okay? You have a lot of soul wisdom that was obtained by the experiences and energies of this lifetime, okay? It just grew you and made you so wise beyond what you can even comprehend. And with the Star card here, again, like, it's your destiny to carry these beautiful higher energies with you into each lifetime following this one. You earned it, okay? Also, the Star is about healing. So there is still this energy of healing about you. This lifetime, some of you are doctors, nurses, even CNAs, caring for the elderly. Some of you do hospice work, social worker, therapist, counselor, Reikiist. Is that even a word? Reiki master. So, massage therapist. Some of you may create meditation for people to follow along and listen to. Your advice may be very healing and wise. There is some element to you, Capricorn, in this lifetime that brings healing and health to others. All right? It's just, it's here. So if that does not speak to you, then this past life is not yours, okay? The Capricorn I'm picking up on is, like, again, you're repeating this life setup blueprint, okay? Some of you, this yucky karmic marriage partnership could play out in this life, but for others of you, it's like the same blueprint of this life, but perhaps without the karma of this relationship. Perhaps, you know, your whoever you partner with, you have a much smoother relationship and experience, but there is definitely an element based on the karma for the good or bad that comes forth with you where you're repeating this, especially coming out as your own sign in this reading. So because a lot of growth and expansion was achieved in this past life, I really feel it's like the next level up of this blueprint, the expanded version of this energy into the new in this lifetime, where you're doing it again, but you know, in a different way, in a different time. All right, it's like, let me be this energy, but in this time frame, what would that create for me? How would that expand for me? Because with the star here, you are healing. There is an element to your energy that's healing, and I just can't get over the star and the destiny card, okay? It is your destiny in this past life, in this life, to be this healing energy, and it continues you on this ascension process with this Capricorn energy. Like, wow, Capricorn. Amazing reading, okay? Amazing reading. In fact, I feel like the reason why I kept referencing this in the now is because this is a reflection of your life of the now. This is like the shadow of that energy of what you are experiencing now. It's your level up, but it's the same. I don't know how to articulate that better. I'm struggling. I'm sorry. I'm really trying to like dig how I can articulate that with body and mind. You have a lot of manifestational power, law of attraction energy. And you have a great understanding of that probably. But wow, yeah. It's like, okay, thank you, universe. You lived this life, this experience, and with intention here, you're really trying to achieve something at a soul level, okay? And a lot of that happened, but there's still this element of ascension, a higher level you can go. So you live this experience, you transition, you take this story and you say, okay, you know what? I'm going to edit this version. I'm going to edit it. I'm going to change this, this, and this, because now I have all these different energies to work with that weren't available to me in this life because of where I was at on my soul journey. But now in this life that I'm currently living, I have all these energies to access now. I really like this storyline. Let me edit this. That is what I'm trying to say. It's a reflection. Your life now is a reflection of what this was, but an edited, upgraded version of that. Yes. So, Capricorn, that is your past life reading. I do hope you enjoyed this.